far southland comes this group of beautiful Dixie Bells, the Monroe Girls Corps of Monroe, Georgia. They're proud to be known as Georgia's Daughters of Goodwill, and they've traveled mighty far and wide. They're a wonderful, colorful group in their electric blue satin and white uniforms, and the 7,500 folks back home in Monroe can be mighty proud of the show their youngsters are putting on. Let's listen. You can get the ideal Shirley Temple doll and fighter jet at toy stores everywhere. Half bugle will travel. That might well be the motto of this sprightly group, for they've traveled over 150,000 miles by bus, plane, and train from Canada to Florida. They're the Riley Raiders of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. These boys have a fantastic record as champions. Out of 135 contests they've entered, they've won 106 times, and they're especially proud to be the only corps in the country to win both the American Legion and the VFW National Championships. The Riley Raiders. Win in the Miracle on 34th Street. That's one. Well, what better name for a group than comes from the towering city of New York than the Skyliners? These are boys who grew up in the shadow of the skyscrapers and had Times Square for their backyard. They're hometown boys. Skyliners were formed about 10 years ago, and just 1 year ago, after they were formed, they captured the national championships of the American Legion in the senior division. After 3 consecutive years, they retained that title. Here they are. some more champs. These boys are members of the Washington Carver Drum and Bugle Corps of Newark, New Jersey. The colors are red, white, and blue. The majority of them are veterans of the Korean War. They've won so many championships it would take me from here to Christmas to mention them all. But I don't have to. They speak for themselves. Here they are.
As mayor of New York, I wonder if Mr. Lindsay wants equal time.
Now, here's a fine precision dance organization we haven't seen in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade since 1966. From Monroe, Georgia, the Monroe Girls Corps.
The Georgia legislature unanimously passed a bill recently which officially named this Monroe Girls Corps as Georgia's Daughters of Goodwill.
That's a very nice honor.
Will must have had a lot of daughters.
There they go. Navy Monroe Girls Corps from Monroe, Georgia. Georgia's on the move.
So is this parade. Coming up next, the lovely Melanie, Smokey the Bear, the zany Omar Motor Patrol, the University of Iowa Scottish Highlanders, and clowns, clowns, clowns. Don't you go away.
From the United States Naval Academy at Annapolis, we're honored to have with us for the first time the Brigade of Midshipmen Drum and Bugle Corps. They've appeared all over the country in support of the Navy's recruitment program, and this past April, the Corps won first prize at the annual Apple Blossom Festival in Winchester, Virginia. Directed by Midshipman First Class Robert Hanson. That was the U.S. Naval Academy Brigade of Midshipmen Drum and Bugle Corps. Well done, sailors.
You know what? They've also got ladies at the Naval Academy. I wonder why they don't call those guys midship persons.
There's more to come. Barry Manilow and the Rockettes and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Miss Teenage America, and we'll be right back. Why do you always bring up the thing about these?
This is another first for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. From Colorado Springs, we're honored and pleased to present the United States Air Force Academy Drum and Bugle Corps under the direction of Master Senior Sergeant James McCurdy. thanks again to the Air Force Academy for sending us such a fine group to brighten our Thanksgiving Day parade. A lot of good-looking guys in there.
Parade, brought to you live from New York City. Your host for today's program, Ed McMahon, with co-host Bryant Gumbel, and guest celebrities Artie Johnson, Joanne Worley, Andrea McCardle, the star of Annie, Victor Borga, Orson Bean, Carol Lawrence, singers Neil Sedaka, Lou Rawls, Mel Tillis, Gloria Gaynor, the Tramps, Vince Montana, the cast of Beatlemania, and Mummenschanz, the Bugs Bunny Follies, the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes, the U.S. Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, Miss Teenage America, the L.A. Fields, the Wrangler Bells, plus marching bands, and clowns galore, balloons and floats and much, much more, including the one and only Santa Claus.
Here coming in front of our NBC cameras is the New York Mission Society Cadet Corps under the direction of James Latham Sr.
I didn't know they were going to do Old Lang Syne. I may not finish. The Pride of Bloomington, Indiana.
Wow, hear that music, Willard? We're back at Herald Square with the Summer Music Games All-Star Drum and Bugle Corps, representing North America in an age range that spans from teenagers to grandparents. This Corps of All-Stars is under the direction of Tony DiCarlo.
Powerful, powerful.
Oh, they are.
Wow, aren't they great?
Incredible. They are. How many in that group? Anybody know? That's the biggest band I think I've ever seen in my life.
A lot.
A lot. Thank you. Uh-oh. Here he comes. This is the one you have to watch out for if you... Madam, would you come here? Does your doggy bite?
If there's a minky in the bathroom.
Well, if your doggy does not bite, then you're all right. You got it. This is our friend from Metro Goldwyn Mayer. It's the Pink Panther dancing quietly over the trees, as you can see. Suave and sophisticated. Look at that look, that intelligent look. He looks like an NBC News person. Especially those shorts. He is one cool cat. And he looks mighty cool in his swimsuit. Known as the international jet setter, Pink Panther must be headed for holidays, obviously. But he did forget his pants. I think somebody ought to tell him. Happy Thanksgiving, guy.
Around the country, they are terrific. Listen. They are incredible. They just met a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe a week of rehearsal, and all over the country these kids are, different places. Just terrific. Look up, Katie. Look, there's our buddy Big Bird with his alphabet blocks. Look at him.
There he is, Willard. Big Bird never misses an opportunity to...
And now, Macy's Parade, Uptown host Al Roker. We're back as the sounds of Swing, Swing, Swing fill Herald Square, played by the 9-time DCI champs, the Cadets and Bugle Corps, under longtime director George Hopkins.
Terrific. The Cadets Drum and Bugle Corps is the longest standing such corps still marching, and if I recall correctly, I believe it was founded in 1934.
You are unbelievable.
All right, welcome back to the home stretch of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, where directors Chris Comnick and Scott Stewart march out their world-renowned brass and percussion ensemble, the Madison Scouts Drum and Bugle Corps.
The Corps of Brothers is comprised of alumni representing 7 decades of the Corps' history. They play a holiday version of Happy.